Okay, morning year 7s. So you should now have your drawing of your lobster. And what we're going to do now is we're going to start adding a little bit of watercolour. So you're going to need a palette of watercolours like this. You need a little bit of water and probably a paper towel as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just start off with some light colours, and you can mix them on the palette. It doesn't matter if that gets dirty, that's fine. I'm putting water on my brush so that actually it's a little bit wishy-washy. I don't want loads and loads of colour, just a little bit wishy-washy, and I'm starting with a sort of dirty orange colour. And what I want to do is make sure that I'm not going over the edges. I'm just applying a little bit of colour. I'm sort of going to leave a little bit of areas of white where the light's shining on him, so I don't want to colour everything in. Because this is going to be a mixed media piece, and if you remember what we said about that, is that that means we're using lots of different types of art media. So we're also going to be applying some biro to this. So you can see I'm sort of putting it around the edges. I'm being neat against the edges, but I'm not being neat as it goes into the centre, and I want to leave some areas in the centre because I want the light to hit it, because with watercolour you can't really add white afterwards. And you'll notice I haven't gone for completely brilliant orange, because we know that that's the colour of the lobster after he's been cooked. And this lobster is still in the ocean. So I'm just putting a hint of colour, and you'll notice that I'm kind of allowing the inside strokes to be a little bit random, so they go around the edge of the shape neater, but inside where it comes towards the light they're being a bit more random. So as well as this sort of pinky orange colour, lobsters have bits of blue in them. So once I put this on, which is my base colour, I'm then going to add a little bit of blue. And again, I don't want to put too much paint on the brush. I want a bit of water so that it's a bit more wishy-washy. And kind of you can use the blue to sort of make some darker shadowy areas. Okay, so we've got plenty of bits of blue on there, as well as the sort of dirty orange. Now, if you get that finished today, if it's very, very wet, there should be a hairdryer in the room and you can dry that. But to be honest, that one's quite dry. So now what I can do is I can go back to my picture and I can start looking at the details and adding some biro to it. Okay, so I've got my biro, and now I'm going to start putting in the details. So I'm kind of shading it with my biro, making it a little bit darker at the edges, and curving the lines so that they go with the shape, following the contours of the shape. And then I can put all these little texture details in as well. Now the more lines you put into this, the darker it will be. Less lines, the lighter it will be. And actually you can also press, lighter with your pens as well to make lighter areas of shade. So that's getting a little bit more detail in there now. Obviously again, what you need to do is make sure that you are properly looking at your picture to see where everything's got to go. And you can see that that's starting to take shape now. So we want shading, a little bit more of definition in the shape. And you can obviously take a little bit more care than me. Let's see how that's adding to the whole effect now. So you're going to go all over your lobster with the biro, and don't forget that if you're going to put his little eyes in, he needs that little window of reflection so that they come alive a little bit. So go all over your lobster with your biro.